Hello, Tiger Lily family. I am here to walk you through what happens if you get absolutely desperate and the ends of your hair are driving you crazy and you can't get in for a trim and you start eyeing the scissors in your kitchen drawer. And while I think it's best if you wait till we're together, not everybody will be able to do that. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to walk you through a home haircut that you can do yourself. So to be ready to start this, you want to get all your supplies together. And what I have here is a brush, any kind, a comb. I have one of these little all-purpose combs that I'm going to be using instead of my big salon combs, so it's probably closer to what you've got at home. And some scissors. I have my shears. You probably don't have shears at home. You might have kitchen scissors closer to this. These will potentially work. I'll show you how to determine that in a minute. I also have here a kitchen garbage bag that I'm going to use to drape myself to keep my clothes from getting hairy. You can also use a towel that you can throw in the laundry, but I figured this is something that everybody's got at home, and I want to show you how to do that. And to go with it, I have some masking tape. I also have a selection of clips and hair doodads. I've got some duckbill clips, just anything that goes like that. I have butterfly clips, which would be the best to have. These would be the second best. I also have a tiny butterfly clip and last resort, a couple of hair ties. If you have nothing else, hair ties will work. So go ahead, if you don't have your stuff together, go ahead and get your stuff together and come on back and let's do a dry haircut. Okay, so hopefully you all have your things together. And the first thing that we're going to do is start by detangling and brushing out our hair because we're doing a dry cut. That's the easiest way to make sure that you get off what you need to get off and don't take off too much of anything else. It's a great way to see what you're gonna get right away. So go ahead and detangle. If you have spent multiple days in the same outfit like I have at home, your messy bun may have sort of fused into some sort of hair loaf. That's fine. Pause the video, take the time, get it undone. You'll be glad you did. So go ahead and get you all detangled. Make sure that brush goes smoothly through your hair. All right. And we're going to want to remove any jewelry you might be wearing and get that set aside. And I think it's a good idea if you go ahead and lay your scissors, comb, brush, and clips out somewhere where you can reach them easily. And it's great if you have a mirror to stand in front. Actually, it's probably essential that you have some sort of a mirror. If it's a decorative mirror, you can stick it on top of a dresser, nightstand, or your kitchen counter. Hopefully you have a mirror in your bathroom. That might be the best bet. So you got detangled hair, you've got your tools. We are going to begin by trimming the perimeter. That's the very, very bottom of your hair where the majority of stuff hangs out that we want to cut. So the first thing we're going to do is part it and get the hair we're not working on out of the way. I'm going to start right above my ears on either side, and I'm just going to pull those fingers straight back along the occipital bone, which is the bone that kind of sticks out of the back of your head, right here of your skull. And so you got to part from ear to ear, and all this stuff that hangs down is free. And then we're going to twist your hair and get that out of the way. Butterfly clips are the easiest. You just scoop. If you need to use a duckbill, you might need a couple. You can also get away with using a ponytail holder and just kind of sticking a little knot on the top of your head. Now we're going to take our garbage bag, and there's a couple ways to do this. You can use duckbill clips or something else to clip it to your clothing like that. You can use masking tape or something else like that to tape it to your shirt. I'll do a little bit of both of those options here. you can follow along at home. So we're doing a dry cut and we're gonna do it in the front where we can see it. So there's no need to drape yourself all the way around. The next thing that we're going to do, we are all ready for our cut now. We are going to go ahead and take a finger and part right down the middle of the back like you're going to pull your hair into pigtails, and then you're gonna pull your hair into pigtails. Now you're gonna look at it and kind of try to decide if you think it's even. If you did, you can also have, if you have somebody else in your house to help, you can have somebody else take a look for you. And it should be close to the same length. It depends on when the last time you had a haircut was and what that style of the haircut is and how you wear your hair. But there's a pretty good approximation. So as far as scissors, if you have hair cutting scissors, that's great. If you don't, you can check out your kitchen scissors. These kitchen scissors will work. I just tested them, so I know. The reason I know, if I pull my hair out here, is when I go to snip, it makes a clean cut. And it doesn't bend the hair, chew the hair off, or the hair doesn't get stuck in the scissors. So these will work. Even better than that would be if you have thread snipping scissors, like in your sewing kit, little ones like that. We're just doing tiny cuts today, so small scissors work. Your kids may even have, if you have kids at home, they may have some paper cutting scissors that are smaller than this, but similar blades that would work. So you really can do this with anything if you know what you're doing, and as long as the scissors make a clean cut. So now we're gonna comb our hair. We're gonna start on one side. We're gonna make sure our toes are pointing together, straight towards the mirror. This is where I orient you and move your head in the chair. You're gonna do that to yourself. You're gonna stand up, square your shoulders, look straight at the mirror, make sure, you can see I've already been cutting a little on this side, but now we're gonna take those scissors and we're just gonna kind of smooth that hair out. And what you're gonna try to do is take the hair from the back of the neck, closest down the front, like that, and just smooth it out from there, kind of fan out the hair so that the hair that's right in front of your ear is kind of on the outside, and stuff that's coming from the back of your neck is on the inside. Then we're gonna move to our scissors, and I'm gonna get closer to the mirror to where I can see what I'm doing. And we're gonna grab, not this whole section, we're gonna grab a third of it, or a half of it, or however much it feels to you like you're able to squish between your fingers and hold it without losing it. I'm a professional, so I can do the whole thing, but you may need to do half. So there we go. And then once you have it smooshed in your fingers and you're holding it nice and tight, I want you to lift it up to where you can see it and just kind of gently fan it out. Grab your scissors, and you're never gonna wanna cut more than a ½ inch at a time. So that's about what's sticking out of the scissors there. I never snip straight across. So if you want your haircut to be as close to how I cut it for you as possible, you're gonna wanna come in at an angle like this. And we're gonna wanna do several tiny cuts across. And it's going to look a little uneven, and that is the point. And then if there's parts that we miss, we kind of come in at a different angle. So pretty much you're just gonna hold this hair, you're gonna move it around, you're gonna snip until you feel like you've taken off about ½ inch. You're gonna lay it right back down and gently grab the other piece of hair, smooth it out. You can grab your comb again if you feel that you need to. And then you're gonna wanna slide those fingers down until you can hold that section of hair nice and tight. Where you can see it, make sure it's not clumped together, and cut off just about a ½ inch there. So go ahead and repeat that on the rest of the hair. And step back and just kind of make sure that that hair is ending around the same spot there. Great. So now we have made a guide, and we're going to let down the rest of our hair. Hopefully you have less hair than me and this is a little bit easier for you. And what we're gonna do is just do the same thing where we're gonna divide it in half as if we're pulling a pigtail. If you get your elastic caught, no worries, just smooth that out. We're gonna divide it like a pigtail, straight down the back of our head, as evenly as we can. Just drag a finger all the way down to the bottom, and then grab the other side and just split that open like that. And then if you have somebody to double check for you that that's even, or you have a mirror, like a compact or something, that you can look at the back of your head, that's also good. We're gonna straighten it out. A couple brushes, a couple combs, repeat, square your shoulders off, toes pointing at the mirror, looking straight ahead, pulling the neck hair straight into the middle and straight down like that, letting the other hair fan out towards the outside. Now, if you get closer to the mirror, we should be able to see the part we just cut and some of the part we have not cut. And depending on your hair, those lengths may be different, how many layers you have, but this inside part is still your guide. That's the first part that you cut. And you just want to make everything match that. So you're just gonna smooth the hair down as much as you can, slide some fingers under, hold it up, and we can see where we've cut before and the other part. Now, this isn't an exact science, and I think that's the important part to know. Some stylists may cut a little bit more mathematically, but if you're used to my haircuts, they're always a little bit more organic. So you just kind of want to peek through the hair and make sure that it looks like everything's had a trim. And then kind of pull on it and see, are there any loose hairs? I feel like that's a little loose right there. Just taking some little snips, understanding that your intention is to take off about 1/2 inch from your hair. So now that I even it out, you can see where that has come even with the others and this has not. Like that. And kind of just pull on that and see, and you will be surprised what a difference it makes just to slide your fingers down to that freshly trimmed end and feel how much healthier, softer, and smoother it feels. We're not gonna get too technical here because I'll be able to see you guys in just a couple of weeks, but in the meantime, this should give you a little bit of something to hold you over. Until we see each other again. All right. Thank you very much. Check out the other videos for some other haircut and styling tips for your quarantine days.